What? Send it here.
What is that?
Someone's coming in hot from deep space.
Omni-Man.
Immortal, wait. Immortal!
Hello, and welcome to another special episode of Superhero Club, your go-to show all about comic book-inspired original series on Prime Video. I'm your host, Stephanie Williams. Before we get too far in, if you want more superhero content like this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Prime Video channel. Today, we're spotlighting Immortal, an original Guardians of the Globe member and someone who hasn't cared for Omni-Man since day one. First, we'll dive into his comic history, exploring his contributions and developments. Then we'll examine how this portrayal compares to the Immortal featured in the animated series. Before we discuss Immortal's first appearance in the Invincible comic series, let's examine his origin story. In the Invincible Origins issue, we learn Immortal has been alive for a long time, even though he isn't too keen on discussing his past. He received his abilities in an accident that happened over 3,000 years ago. Some say he served as a knight during the time under an unnamed king's rule, and that he was an explorer who sailed the seas and discovered new lands. It's possible he fought in the American Revolution and became President of the United States, taking on the alias of Abraham Lincoln. Other stories say he fought in World War I, all before he became a superhero in the 1930s. Despite his mysterious history, what we do know about Immortal, without a doubt, is that he hates Omni-Man. Immortal makes his debut in Invincible number 7, the iconic issue in which Omni-Man murders the entire Guardians of the Globe team. Before that moment, Immortal was dealing with a villain high above Denver. He quickly launches the elderly villain biplane into space. In the next issue, after the Guardians' private funeral, two eager fans dig up Immortal to drink from his skull, believing they will gain his abilities. The Mauler twins show up just as the Gravediggers finish and take Immortal's body to bring him back to life so he can do their bidding. Once Immortal is among the living again, in a rage, he quickly leaves the Mauler twins. He has revenge on his mind, and it's Omni-Man who he has his sights set on. Despite his anger-fueled attack, Immortal is killed by Omni-Man for the second time in a row. Immortal makes a triumphant return in Invincible number 14 thanks to the GDA bringing him back to life. He surprises Invincible at his home, announcing his intention to keep a watchful eye on the young hero, despite Cecil's assurance that Mark is one of the good guys. The visit from Immortal comes after Invincible's epic battle with his father, Omni-Man. Immortal's skepticism about Mark is understandable, considering Invincible's father killed him twice. Immortal joins the new Guardians of the Globe as a consultant, a move Cecil believes will benefit Robot, the new leader of the Guardians. In issue number 16, which opens in another dimension, Immortal is a member of the same resistance group as Ancient Levy. Although this is a different dimension, Immortal is still as grumpy and short-tempered as his main dimension counterpart. Immortal is killed alongside Robot when this dimension's Invincible, who teams up with his father, Omni-Man, attacks the resistant hideout. Back in the main dimension, Immortal fights alongside Invincible and the rest of the Guardians of the Globe as they take on alien invaders. Although the invaders retreat, Cecil is unhappy with the Guardians' overall performance. He fires Robot as the leader and makes Immortal the new leader. After the Guardians' victory over the villain Omnipotus, Immortal shares a rare moment of vulnerability with Black Samson. He expresses his joy at having Samson back on the team. For context, Black Samson regains his powers during the fight with Omnipotus, a crucial factor in the Guardians' success. Immortal also reveals how he shut himself off from new relationships after his wife Grace's death. However, he recently met someone who rekindled his desire to live, and that person is Duplicate. Immortal's budding relationship with Duplicate has a broader impact on how he interacts with the Guardians and the other superheroes like Invincible. After Invincible successfully helps the Guardians defeat a villain who can control the minds of others, Immortal tells Invincible he did a good job. Immortal and Duplicate sneak away to get married, but the couple doesn't have the chance to enjoy a honeymoon due to a secret threat on a space vessel headed toward Earth. Immortal is sent to space along with other members of the Guardians, while Duplicate stays on Earth with Rexplode and Shrinking Ray. While on the mission in space, Immortal shows us that while trying to improve, he can still let his ego rule his choices. When the secret threat gets out of hand, Invincible has to put Immortal in his place telling Immortal that he isn't the best option to activate the device Robot made to nullify the Sequid's hold on the human astronaut. When the Guardians return to Earth, they are hit with the devastating news of Kate's death. Immortal takes the death the hardest, of course. He begins to revert to his quick-tempered, loner ways, evident in his encounter with Alan the alien, who he assumes comes to Earth to attack it when Alan is actually just looking for Invincible. Cecil places Immortal on a sabbatical away from the team so he can have space to process Kate's death properly. Immortal leaves for a secluded cabin in the woods where he finds Kate alive.
If this is about Kate, I understand.
I'm unmoored, Cecil. Unstable. Dangerous, even.
You just saved the goddamn planet from an invasion from Mars.
I could have cost us that fight because I didn't trust Invincible. And then I almost started an interplanetary war with his one-eyed friend.
We'll put a pin in Immortal's comic book deep dive, but we promise to revisit it again later. For now, we will move on to the version of Immortal in the Invincible animated series. In his first appearance in Season 1, Episode 1, Immortal stands out as a leader among his Guardians of the Globe teammates. They unite to confront the Mauler twins, who are launching an assault on the White House. This episode serves as a platform for Immortal to showcase his leadership, powers, and the growing tension with Omni-Man. Before Immortal meets his demise at the end of the episode with the rest of his teammates by way of Omni-Man's bloody fist, he encounters the elderly villain Biplane, who he throws into space. In Episode 3, Immortal and the rest of the Guardians are given a funeral. In Episode 6, similar to the comics, the Mauler twins take Immortal's body after it's dug up by someone else, this time by two teenagers who think they'll get powers from drinking from Immortal's skull. In the next episode, the Mauler twins hatch a plan to resurrect Immortal and control him with an obedience collar using schematics provided by Robot. However, this plan takes an unexpected turn. While they succeed in bringing Immortal back to life, their control over him is short-lived. A furious Immortal tears off the collar, vowing revenge against Omni-Man, but his second life is cut short by Omni-Man's hand, yet again. In the Season 1 finale, the GDA has seemingly brought Immortal back to life again. Season 2, Episode 1 opens in another dimension where Invincible and his father have joined forces. Immortal and Invincible fight, only for Omni-Man to arrive and decapitate Immortal. In the main dimension, Cecil recruits Immortal to lead the Guardians of the Globe, a testament to his leadership skills, and Cecil's growing frustration with Robot. Later in the episode, after Invincible stops the Mauler twins and Ace from leaving, Immortal asserts his authority. He reminds Invincible that he will be closely monitoring him, despite Invincible's efforts to distance himself from his father's actions. In the next episode, it's revealed that Immortal and Kate are in a relationship after Rex confronts them, after finding them in the shower together. Both Kate and Immortal quickly put Rex in his place. In Episode 5 of Season 2, Immortal continues to put the Guardians through rigorous training after they were nearly defeated by the villain Omnipotus. Shortly after, Cecil arrives at Guardians HQ to inform the team they must go into space to intercept a vessel full of Sequids. In Episode 6, Immortal's feelings toward Invincible begin to improve. He is impressed with how Invincible handles things during their mission in space, and Immortal even agrees that Invincible is stronger and faster than him, and therefore the better option to deploy the device Rudy made to nullify the Sequid's control of the astronaut. Immortal's good mood is squashed once he and the Guardians return to Earth to find that one of the Lizard League members killed Kate. Immortal delivers a heartfelt eulogy for Kate during her funeral, revealing a vulnerable side to his character. He later opens up with Black Samson, expressing how deep his feelings for Kate and the impact of her loss had on him. And even though he has opened up, he quickly reverts to a stoic and hot-tempered demeanor. Cecil notices this change and suggests that he take a break from the team, and in true Immortal headstrong fashion, he rejects it. But his grief soon proves Cecil's point when an alert of an approaching entity sounds off. Immortal flies off before Cecil can intervene, leading to a brief and misunderstood confrontation with Alan the alien before Invincible's arrival. In Episode 7, Cecil temporarily puts Immortal on leave due to his grief, which gives Rudy his job back as leader of the Guardians. In the season finale of Season 2, Immortal finds Kate waiting for him in the secluded cabin he is staying in. She shares with him that she kept a hidden copy of herself. This is a sweet and much needed reunion for a man who thought he lost it all again. And that concludes this deep dive character session of Superhero Club. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm your host, Stephanie Williams. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more episodes of Superhero Club. And remember, you can now check out seasons 1 and 2 of Invincible streaming on Prime Video.